Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a new product from Founders. I'm very curious how this turns out. This is the Cranfather, so that's a pretty cool name. But what is it? Is an ale aged in bourbon barrels with cranberry, cherry, and orange peel. Cocktail inspired, blah, blah, blah. Festive cranberry twist on old fashioned. Okay. I think it's a barley wine style ale too. Beer comes in pretty big, 11%. And it was bottled 2 months to the date. Just hit my market. Curious how this one turns out. We all know that there's some funky beers out there. I think one of the most infamous ones was Lizard of Cause, which is it was like a blueberry stout or something. A bolt cutter. There's some memes out there about Founders with their funky beers, that like big beers too, and the crazy thing about, like, they make a gajillion barrel batches of those beers. There's just cases of them sitting in my market, like in New York, like forever. Because when you do a 90 barrel batch of beer or 120 barrel, they have a massive facility in Grand Rapids. Yeah, it's crazy. Grand Rapids doesn't really have many tall buildings. Founders, those huge 90 to 120 barrel tanks, fermenters, just are that tall, you know. So beer comes in a really pretty kind of brownish, deep amber, brownish color, but it has a reddish hue to it. So yeah, it almost looks like there's crystal malt in here, but it's just cherries maybe. I mean, obviously there's crystal malt in here, but there's cherries or something. Yeah, pretty nice, nice looking beer. Wonderful tan head on that. Okay, all right, so it's definitely cocktail inspired. Okay. Oh, it's barrel aged too. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's very boozy. So it smells bourbon barrel aged. So honestly, cocktail inspired. Smells pretty good. Definitely get a ton of bourbon on the nose. Definitely get that orange peel. So has that old fashioned thing going on. Probably make an orange peel. You're gonna old fashioned. You're gonna zip that kind of a lemon peel on there and get the old essential oils on there. Cranberry, maybe a little bit in the background. Yeah, malt. Yeah, some deep toasted malty notes in there, a little bit of like caramel, but mostly barrel character and oily orange. So honestly, it almost smells like cocktail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It full blind. I wouldn't necessarily immediately go beer. I would go liquor and orange oils. So I go cocktail. Yeah, close my eyes. Yeah, that's where I go. That's really good. I mean, how they really pull this essential orange peel oiliness onto the aroma is really nice. I mean, it's possible they used like flavorings, but it smells proper, right? Versus what was that beer was so gross? The caramel pumpkin, which smelled like a Yankee Candle. This actually smells like a cocktail. Like you actually used orange peel in here, right? So, ooh, okay, that is weird. Okay, that is weird. Um, so the initial flavor is that this tastes infected. It just immediately tastes infected. It honestly tastes a lot, very 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 similar to what is it? Bourbon County barley wine. Goes on Bourbon County barley wine when it's affected. The combination of malt, bourbon barrel, and acidity is just, it's not normal. Beers just don't have that unless they're infected. They don't, and this beer has it. It's not necessarily a bad thing because I did review that beer. Actually, I'll post a link, and it's actually a fun review because the beer actually tasted fine. Objectively, it was actually a pretty good beer. Just, not what they meant for. Here, it's actually pretty fun. Culinary beer. Carton always talks about doing, Augie Carton of Carton Brewing always talks about doing that. I guess Founders does funky stuff like that. It's a hard sell because it just really, really, really tastes like infected beer. Um, Especially with certified Cicerone, advanced Cicerone, like palates. Like you're just taught to not like certain flavors, especially when flavors are supposed to work certain ways. Like barrel aged barley wine tastes a certain way, and when you throw really sour cranberries into it, it just knocks it out. It's I mean, it's like putting peanut butter on a cheeseburger. I mean, some people like that, or putting chocolate syrup on spaghetti, right? Like it's just like what, like they're things that are wholesome and familiar, and knowing, and it's that familiar malt and bourbon, vanilla, caramel, Werther's, and all these flavors, and then it's like sour orange. It's like sour orange. All right, this is gonna take a minute. Sorry, guys. So, all right, I'm gonna have to dissect this beer. Like, even just like sipping on it, I don't know where to go. Like, let's talk about the beer. So, boozy up front, bourbon stays on the nose, like super orangey, way too orangey, like completely out of bounds orangey. This is called the Cranfather. I smelled it on the nose, very oily, but it feels like someone made the wrong old fat. Like, I mean, first off, the right way to make old fashioned is simple: large ice, demerara, or simple syrup, maybe a double simple syrup, gum syrup, or something like that. Angostura bitters, maybe a little bit of orange bitters, a really good tasting rye. Stir it, express with orange peels. Orange peel. You can do rabbit ears, and you do a lemon peel too. Maybe add a little maraschino cherry. That's it. Nothing else. None of this muddling stuff. None of this, like, if you want to do like sugar, go ahead. That's another different thing. But nothing else. None of this ice or shaking or muddling. No. It's very simple. To make a proper old fashioned, we added liquor to my bar restaurant. That's how you make a proper old fashioned. This tastes like somebody like try to make it old fashioned, but grabbed a big chunk of, like, a chunk this big that, like people do that joke where they put the orange here, a big chunk of orange, and just start smashing it into your old fashioned, because it is bourbony, and then it's sour too. So like they threw cranberry juice in there too. So it's like a whiskey cran, which is not a drink. I've never had one, but I wouldn't recommend trying a whiskey cran. Oh my god. Bourbon, a lot of orange, a lot of sour, a lot of orange peel, more orange, little hints of cranberry. Mouthfeel, because of the acidity, is pushed down. So like you don't really get this luscious, big, sweet thing that, that mouthfeel you get from a barrel-aged beer. The malt is also hindered by that, so both mouthfeel and malt and sweetness are all tampered by this huge dominating orange thing. And then what else I got in here? Cherries, yeah, cherries. So the cranberry and cherries are playing this like stone fruity thing, which is pretty fun. What the hell? All right. As it warms up, no. The orange is just tamped too high. I'm honestly impressed that they released this, like, with, like, anybody who tried this out of tank would just been like, no, we got to readjust this. Like, you got to fix the flavorings. I would have back sweetened it, added more cherry, something. It's just so odd. Like, you taste this, you brew the beer, pull it out of the barrel. I don't know how they process. Maybe they flavor. Yeah, I imagine they barrel aged the beer and then flavored it with cranberry, cherry, and orange afterwards. And then after trialing that out, you just immediately would go like, no, there's too much orange. Like, it's just so out of place. It's too much orange. And the cool thing about it is that it smells good, and it doesn't taste like Yankee Candle. It doesn't necessarily taste like they use, like, I mean, they possibly could have used orange flavoring on top of the orange peel, because I don't think. Well, I think they have to list. All right, whatever. I believe they have to list if it's like flavorings or something. Because when you say something, Asian bourbon barrels, cranberry, cherry, and orange peel, I think if you don't use artificial flavoring, you don't have to say artificial flavoring. But they just must have put like so much freaking orange peel in here. Talking about the beer, they say a festive cranberry twist on an inspired by old fashioned. Expect complex aromatics of vanilla, dried fruit, caramel, spice with pleasant hints of cranberry and bitter orange peel. I'd reverse that, literally. The orange peel is very big. Definitely the bourbon, maybe some spice, vanilla, blah, blah, blah. Unique finishes, smooth without a shortage of depth of flavor. I would argue there is a there's a lacking of depth of flavor. There's not enough depth. You're dominating the palate by orange peel and sour oranges. Yeah. See, like, it's growing my palate a little bit more as I wait, but it is drinkable. I will say, like, I'm probably gonna finish this bottle, which is okay, which is actually pretty impressive. But it's actually, they might be right. It's depth. The fact this video is going that long is I'm having such a hard time wrapping my head around this beer. It's got a lot of just really, like, yeah, this forward dried orange peel thing that you use in Asian cooking and obviously a lot of cuisines as well. But it's very dominant. And I wish maybe more cranberry, definitely more base beer. I want more base beer. I want more bourbon, more base beer, more sweetness. Maybe some cherry sweetness. I really don't know much cherry in here. And then the orange peel is so dominant that the cranberry acidity just makes it seem like a sour orange. And there's so much sour orange going on here. And it's like, who wants to? I mean, like, if I had to write an essay about this beer, like Advanced Cicerone actually makes you do that on the essay in the tasting portion, and you go boom, 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 and just like write as much as you can about this beer. Actually, there's two parts of the essay where, two parts of the Advanced Cicerone exam where, excuse me, you write just like really great descriptors. The descriptors here would not touch their descriptors. It would be just like orange bomb, right? And then the other one is the essay talking about like technical kind of descriptors about the beer. And a lot of it would just go towards the flavorings, the acidity, the orange. It would touch about the barrel aging. It would touch about some of the malt. But yeah. Honestly, on the essay, I would even argue like you should maybe say something like infection, because it just seems like it has infection, because it's just it's like orangey but also sour. So they put too much cranberry in here, not enough cherry, and not enough base beer. And they've added too much adjunct to dominate this base beer that should be whispered of orange peel and whispered of cranberries, but instead we've dominated the beer with that. So long video. I'm so sorry. This is This has to be one of the weirdest beers I've had all year. Yeah. Not even close. Easily one of the weirdest beers I've had all year. Mediocre. Good to mediocre, but one of the weirdest beers, because who thinks of these things? And then, like, it's actually fine to conceptualize the idea, but to execute it in this sense and just go like, all right, we have a lot of acidity and a lot of orange in this, and let's just sell it. Like, what the freak? Like, it doesn't even sell cran. You call it Cranfather, but it doesn't really sell cranberries. You're selling like, in general, it just tastes like a sour orange barrel aged beer, which are words that shouldn't be in a sentence. Sour orange barrel aged barley wine. That's my sentence. That is the sentence for the beer. Sour orange barrel aged barley wine. Yeah, cool. How you think of that is up to you. This beer definitely has a lot of complexity and depth. You're gonna think about this beer a lot, but in the end, I don't know, man. It honestly gets a lot of compliments. I'm actually gonna finish it and enjoy it. Like, it is drinkable, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go on the rating. I don't hate the beer. I definitely don't love it. But it is drinkable. But I don't really like it either. So it's definitely mediocre. It's drinkable. It's mediocre or drinkable. It's definitely weird. And weird can be good sometimes, but not here. So execution doesn't work. So yeah, we talk about my go back to my rating system. Execution, drinkability, like excitement or like flashiness. Definitely has drinkability. Doesn't have execution. Definitely has flashiness. This has got to be one of the hardest ratings I'm ever gonna give. I've never thought about a rating so hard. Now I wait more. It has a little bit of this kind of vanilla thing to it, but it's so like sour and orangey. And it's not a sour beer necessarily, but it's just like noticeably sour for like a barrel aged like barley wine. 83. This might be one of the few 83s I actually finish. Oh no. I finished other beers that are lower scored. Okay, cool. But this, yeah, I'm gonna finish the beer. But, geez, okay, 83. I've talked enough. Until next time. Cheers. Later.